so when you're working on a warranty job or an insurance job, and sometimes they don't want to pay you for little incremental things, we always want to take care of the employee. And I've never been questioned by any of my bosses when it comes to taking care of an employee, because they know that if we don't take care of our people, that we won't have any people. So that's my philosophy, and I think that's always been the company's philosophy when it comes to technicians. Like I said, you guys have a huge investment in tools and training and all your time spent. You can't pull a car in, look at it for an hour and not get paid. That's just not the way the industry works anymore. I mean, let's face it, flat rate is probably the reason so many good techs left the business how many years ago. I mean, it's a tough gig, so I understand what you guys are going through.
Additionally to that too, Van Horn is willing to invest in the techs, right? I mean, how many shop toolboxes do we have in here? Like two or three?
We got 2 so far, but yeah, mostly more entry-level stuff.
But still, like, we're willing to get, sometimes when we were starting off, like, we didn't want to necessarily, you didn't have the money, right? I don't have the money to go out and spend a couple $1,000s to get a basic set to go even make money, right? Like, we didn't have that opportunity. We had to do it. I started off a little tiny Craftsman box, you know, from Sears. And so the fact that we're willing to spend, like, to invest from the get-go before we even know what they can do, and then if they can grow into it, you know, obviously we'll give them more. So that goes a long way now.
Early on in my career when I was going to school and wanted to be a technician, that's one of the things that turned me off. Is like I had some basic tools and stuff, but I was to the point where I probably needed to buy a lot more stuff. And I went, man, I don't know. If I'm not 100% in this and I'm not all in, I'm not going to spend thousands of dollars on tools that I'm going to get stuck with later. And then what do I do with that? How am I going to sell them, or, you know, pay the tool guy a king's ransom? You know, if anybody knows about the tool guy.
It's like the customers. Well, your boss must really like you. You got the biggest box. It isn't that way.
It's not the way it
I don't
works.
think so.
We don't have to start off with a big toolbox either. I started off here with a little bag, and I had a couple socket set and a couple ratchets and whatever. But you can, and then when you start, you can decide if you like it after a while. You start buying more and more, and then you buy a cheap box and you move up from there. You don't have to buy all your tools at once. You can get into a certain thing and move up.
Yeah, I know with the high gear program we'll buy some tools too. That's part of the program. We'll buy like a toolbox or a basic set of tools. I mean, like, you give a guy a job, you can't expect him to go out and buy a bunch of tools his first day. So you got to have something set up to get people started out.
Well, there's just so many because there's different manufacturers. I don't use all those tools. There's the GM stuff, the Ford stuff, the Mazda stuff. Some of it they don't transfer to this, so they just collect dust. But
Right, like,
it's good to have them.
Ford's using the 13s and the 15s, and the GM's using the 14s and 12s. So.
Yep.
At least it's all going metric now.
Right,
Still,
right.
all my
I don't
standard
have
stuff I never even touched
all my
anymore.
standard stuff went home with me a long
Did it?
time ago.
It's still in that
it's-
box. I just don't use it.